friends, this is Life Coach Rich. I wanted to do a summary of the Weldwood contact cement and the Henry's carpet adhesive. I was replacing some boat carpet on my boat, and so I started out with the Henry's adhesive, and then they were out of it, and then so I got the Weldwood contact cement. So I've used both of them, and so I wanted to summarize the pros and cons for each. So I'll put that on the screen as we talk about them. Let's first start with the Henry's carpet adhesive. So the pros, let's start with the pros on it, is that it's a lot cheaper. So it was $9.71 per 1 quart, where it's a con on the Weldwood contact cement. It was $24.88 per 1 quart. So that's 256% more expensive than the quart of the Henry's adhesive. So that's a pro there for the carpet adhesive. There's not really any smell. That's a pro for the for the carpet adhesive, the Henry's. The Weldwood is very smelly and flammable. It has warnings all over the label. You have to use a fan to try to get it well ventilated to get this smell and everything out so it's not accumulating so that something could ignite. So that's a con for the contact cement. And then also the Henry seemed a pro. It seemed to go further. It seemed to me I was able to cover a very large lid for the back and then 2 other lids in that 1 quart, whereas with the contact cement, I was only able to do the small live well one, and then I have another section of boat carpet. That's a thin section, and I'll be able to use the rest of that quart for that, and that's it. So it seemed to me it was like 30% more coverage that I was getting from approximately from the carpet adhesive. All right, so there's some pros for the carpet adhesive, and then some cons for the Weldwood. Now let's talk about the pros of the Weldwood. First, you apply it with a paintbrush. As opposed to, it's harder to apply the carpet adhesive because you're applying it with a trowel, a slotted trowel, like you would do like mortar or something if you're laying tile. So it's a lot easier to apply with the paintbrush. You're a lot more precise. With the trowel, it's just harder to apply, and then it's messier. That's the next thing. It's a lot less messy with just using the paintbrush and then folding stuff over on the carpet. I didn't even use gloves when I was doing the contact cement. Whereas I was using gloves, and when I was using the carpet adhesive, the Henry's, and then I still got stuff on the carpet a little bit, and then I still got stuff on my gloves, and then it was just sticky, even though I was trying to not, trying to not be messy. Another pro for the Weldwood, it is a lot faster to apply. You just have to brush it on there and then let it get cured real quick for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then you're ready to apply both sections. You just fold it over or pull it, fold it, and as soon as it contacts, then it seals, whereas it's a lot slower dry time for the Henry's. It's 24 hours. The next thing is that another pro for the Weldwood, you don't need any clamps and stuff. You just fold it over, it contacts, and then boom, you let it go, it's there. Whereas I'll show you a picture of having to clamp, use boards and then having to clamp all the way around the lid for the Henry's. And so you need clamps and little boards for that longer cure time of 24 hours to hold everything in place while it cures, and then you can take the stuff off. So you're not needing extra equipment with the Weldwood, whereas you do. It wasn't a lot of extra equipment. I had some little pieces of board I could use, but I went and got a pack of clamps for like $15 that I had plenty of plastic clamps to do around each lid. So anyway, that's sort of the summary. So I'd summarize it. If you're in a hurry, as far as trying to turn over how quickly you can get everything done, and you're not worried about spending the extra money, the Weldwood contact cement is the way to go. Now you still need about a 3-day cure time for this before you expose it to water. So but you could finish all of the carpet and lids and stuff in 1 day, whereas I was only had enough clamps and stuff for 1 lid. So I would do 1 lid and then let it cure for a day, and then I'd do another lid and then let it cure for another day. And sometimes some of the carpet wasn't all the way adhered, so I'd have to put some more adhesive on there and then clamp it for another half day and then come back the following day. So the Henry's adhesive, if you want to save money and then you're not in a hurry, let's say you're doing this in the off season, you just got the boat in a shop, it's not going to be exposed, or garage, it's not going to be exposed to water anyway, and you're not in a hurry, and you want to save money, then the Henry's carpet adhesive is probably the way to go. You're going to save a good bit of money if you do it that way. So anyway, that's the full review of both of those from my experience of using them, and hopefully that's helpful. Please share, like, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.